I'm learning the details of this awful earthquake they've had in Italy. A cluster of towns, maybe 60 or 70 miles northeast of Rome, badly affected. Hundreds of people killed, lots of folks missing, including tourists from various countries. It was a 6.2 magnitude hit, which happened on Wednesday, and they've been dealing with aftershocks since, which have hampered rescue efforts. A 4.7 magnitude tremor happened earlier today. What a nightmare. The poor people involved in this. Even if you survived and your loved one survived, you still have to rebuild everything. Communities have been reduced to rubble in a matter of moments. That's the destructive power of the earth, though. We live on a dangerous planet. Anyway, Italian Prime Minister Renzi has pledged 50 million euros for the effort of rebuilding, but at this point it's about the search for survivors. Some people may still be buried alive. Yeah, terrible. I'll be watching for updates. On to another part of the world, the Philippines, where apparently there is a new war on drugs, which is being led by the new president. It's a controversial figure, to say the least. He's been linked to a death squad in the city where he was mayor for more than 20 years. Human rights groups claim this death squad carried out extrajudicial killings of people suspected of being drug dealers, and since he was elected president back in May, extrajudicial killings have increased. And when the UN criticised him about this, he threatened to withdraw his country from the international body. Yeah, it's my understanding that the Philippines has a big crystal meth epidemic. Meth labs existing in many parts of the country. As you would expect, it's poor people who are being affected the most by all of this. Poverty is a big problem. They call it shabu in the Philippines, crystal meth. A lot of people support President Duterte's drug war, but it seems that so far it's only the low-level, bottom-of-the-barrel dealers who are being targeted by the death squads. But the president has listed lots of government officials, police officers and judges who he says are involved in the crystal meth or shabu trade. Tons of the stuff apparently being produced in the country and then it's being shifted elsewhere in the region, into other parts of Asia. I was reading a BBC article earlier about a woman who has become a contract killer. She comes from a poor area of the capital, Manila, and she can get up to £327 per hit, per killing, which is a lot of money for a poor Filipina. I'll link the article in the description for you. It makes for some disturbing reading. One final story, not a surprising one, from Zimbabwe. The capital, there's been some protests there. Protesters got attacked with tear gas, and pro-democracy supporters wearing red t-shirts were beaten up. This is a recent development. It's not long been reported by the BBC. It's my understanding that red is the colour of the opposition in Zimbabwe, opposition to the tyrannical rule of Robert Mugabe and his ZANU-PF party. These kinds of incidents are nothing new, of course, in this country where The president has been in power since 1980. The country has been badly affected by its worst drought in decades, which is affecting southern Africa. A state of disaster has been declared in some rural areas of Zimbabwe. This is a country with high rates of unemployment, a cash crisis, and perhaps divisions within the ruling party over who will succeed Mugabe. The next election is due for 2018. Mugabe will be standing, health permitting. Who knows what will happen? How fair will this next election be? It's alleged that ZANU-PF has stolen many an election down the years. We saw big strike action last month in Zimbabwe. It's a country which is importing more than it's exporting, and it's struggling to pay its debts. And with this drought in southern Africa, its problems are being exacerbated. The present is volatile, the future, who can say? Watch this space.